The Tale of the Land of the Lions, Part 2, The Betrayal, the Fall, and the Roar. When the lizards first arrived in the land of the lions, and they came under the banner of peace, they claimed they were merely messengers, spreading the faith of their desert wolf, and the lions, proud of their freedom, let them in. Their gates were open to all who came without sword, and so the lizards walked in as preachers. But behind their robes they hid another alliance. In secret they had made a pact with the shark clans of the Far East, the hungry, wingless beasts who'd long eyed the lions' riches. And one night, while the lions dreamed, the lizards opened the gates. The sharks stormed in. They ravaged the cities, burned the libraries, and tore apart the underground archives, filled with knowledge the lions had gifted to the world. The lions fought bravely, but betrayal is sharper than any fang. The lizards started to fit themselves into the lions' palaces. They didn't rule with claws at first. They ruled with whispers. They sat beside lion kings as advisors, healers, historians, and believers. And over centuries, the kings of the lions had no choice but to consult with them and pay them tribute, because the lizards had learned to poison minds, to twist beliefs, to stir entire cities into turning against their own. One lion king, in the later centuries, dreamed of building a railway. He invited cranes and owls from the west, engineers with wings of wisdom. But a lizard slithered onto the pulpit and hissed, "These are the devil's vehicles, the cursed machines of the outsiders." So by day, the cranes built, and by night, crowds, led by the lizard's sermons, tore everything apart. Eventually, the Lion King gave up. He sent the lizard 500 tomans and a golden hookah. The next morning, the same lizard declared, "Even the devil's vehicle can carry the faithful to paradise." And with his whole family, he boarded the first train off to pilgrimage. Then, 40 years ago in lion time, the masks fell. The lizards launched a revolution. They enthroned their sacred wolf. And from that moment on, the lions began to fall. The land grew poor, empty, lost. The male lions, muzzled, exhausted, and fading. The female lionesses, cut into their own faces, injected with desert grease, shaped to fit the tastes of camel men. And willingly they traveled to the land of the camels, now rich with oil. The very same ones who once begged for the daughters of the lions now bought them with jewels and promises easily, because they are poor now and need money to survive. The female lionesses serve them, not by force, but by choice this time. They can even remember in their past when lizards first attacked the lion's kingdom, a sacred, beautiful fairy tale princess lioness named Bibi Shimshim. She escaped into the mountains, carrying the last thread of royal blood, and she never let the lizards touch her. Even though time passed, and the lizards rewrote even that, they claimed she married their wolf's nephew, that she bore a hybrid cub. But it was a lie, just another tale from the sand. It seems the spirit of the lions dimmed, and it looks they forgot who they are. On the other hand, the lizards, after seizing the land of the lions, were not foolish. They knew this land was no desert. It was rich, ancient, powerful. And so, in the silence of tunnels and shadows, they began preparing, not just with whispers, but with weapons. They armed themselves with thunder blades, strange tools of lightning designed to shake the skies. Tools meant for one purpose, to rule, not just lions, but the world. And somewhere in the clouds, The American eagle was watching. He saw the lizards sharpening their fangs. He heard the quiet hiss of war, and he realized the lizards were not content with the lions. They wanted the whole jungle, so the eagle flew south toward the camels. He met them in secret, those who once bathed in sand, now soaked in oil. And he asked, "What do we do when the lizards build thunder?" Because the camels' wells were drying up. Their time was ending, and the lizards, they had other plans. Then came the question, what if we renamed the Lion's Gulf the Camel Sea? Why? Because the oil beneath the camels was drying up. But under the claws of the lions still slept a deeper treasure, titanium, the strongest metal on earth, gold, copper, oil, gas, and ancient treasures buried in the lions' underground cities, plundered by lizards in recent excavations. After taking power, the lizards erased all symbols of the lions. They stole the art, the architecture, the music, and wore them like costumes. They burned what they couldn't claim. And now, I ask you, if you are born of lions, if your ancestors once danced among waterfalls, and your blood remembers temples and truth, rise, not with teeth, but with memory, with dignity, with soul. Be lions, not just by name,